Dear students, last class you studied about the inverters, the function of inverters, the types of inverters. You know, inverter, the function of inverter is to convert AC to DC, sorry, DC to AC. The input is DC and the output is AC. The DC to AC converters are also known as inverters. In DC to AC converters, the input voltage is fixed DC, the output voltage may be variable voltage at fixed or variable frequency. You have seen the two types of inverters, voltage source inverter, the current source inverter. In voltage source inverter, the input voltage DC voltage will be constant voltage. In current source voltage, current source inverter, the current is maintained constant. So, another classification of inverter you have seen, single phase inverter and three phase inverters. So, today we will discuss about single phase half bridge inverter, single phase full bridge inverter, three phase full bridge inverter. Already you know DC to AC converters are known as inverters. The function of inverter is to change the DC input to a symmetrical AC output voltage of desired magnitude and frequency. The output voltage can be fixed or variable at fixed or variable frequency. You know, the output voltage waveform of an ideal inverter should be sinusoidal. However, in ideal case usually does not exist. It will be a non-sinusoidal and it contains harmonics. For high power applications, low distortions are required. So, inverters can be broadly classified, already told you, into single phase inverters and three phase inverters. Inverters use controlled turn on, turn off devices such as BJTs, MOSFETs and IGBTs. BJT, MOSFET, IGBTs already studied in previous sessions. Now, we see the power comes from a solar panel or a battery is generally 12 volts DC power. So, this is what we give input to a inverter. So, the output of inverter gives outputs with a different waveforms. The different waveforms usually a square wave or stepped, this is square wave what you have seen. Usually this type of inverters are used for small power application. This is a square waveform. This is a modified sine wave. This is another true sine wave waveforms type of inverters used for high power applications. So, let us today study about single phase half bridge inverter. A single phase half bridge inverter, you have see we have two choppers. It can be a BJT, it can be a MOSFET, it can be IGBT. So, we have two diodes D1 and D2. These diodes comes into picture only in case of a inductive load, and we have a single voltage source Vs. And the another here is a 3 terminal DC source is required. These are the operation details of single phase half bridge inverter. We have seen I already told 3-wire DC source is a 3-wire 1, 2, 3. We have voltage source Vs. So, this is where we are connecting a load. Here the transistors switched on and off alternatively. Each provides opposite polarity of Vs across the load. So, let us see the operation of single phase half bridge inverter. So, we have two transistors. I told you can be BJT or we have seen IGBT. So, it will be switched on and off alternatively. So, during first let us take Q1 is on for T is equal to T naught by 2. So, T is equal to 0 to T naught by 2, transistor Q1 will be on. The transistor Q1, the IGBT Q1 will be on for this duration, for the duration Q2 will be off. See the direction of current here. See, this is the direction already shown in arrow mark. This is the direction of current flow. The voltage, this is a positive. If you take this is a positive direction, we will get V naught is equal to plus Vs by 2. So, when transistor Q1 is on for duration T naught by 2, and during that time Q2 will be off, and output voltage are shown here. V naught is equal to Vs by 2. It is plus Vs by 2. The peak reverse voltage of Q2, when Q2 is off, what is our reverse voltage is applied is entire Vs will be applied across Q2. Though output voltage is V naught is Vs by 2, the peak reverse voltage across Q2, the Q2 has to withstand this voltage Vs. Let us see the next duration, that is from that is again the duration of this T naught by 2, that is T is equal to T naught by 2 to T. This Q1 is off and Q2 be on. Q2 be is on for another time T naught by 2. See the direction of current flow. So, from here again we have is a capacitors plus to minus, again see the direction, now it is gets reversed. The voltage applied voltage across R naught, R will be, now it is, now output voltage V naught across the resistor will be minus Vs by 2. So, in previous case is plus Vs by 2, now it is minus Vs by 2. Thus, we are getting the waveform during the first duration T is equal to 0 to T naught by 2, we get plus Vs by 2, the duration T naught by 2 to T capital T, we are getting minus Vs by 2. So, waveforms with the resistive load. So, this is the waveform of output voltage. So, this is plus Vs by 2 when Q1 is on. I marked here, this is Q1. When Q1 is on, the output voltage is Vs by 2. When Q2 is on, when Q1 is on, Q2 must be off. When Q2 on, Q2 must be, it will be accommodated. So, this is output waveform. So, it is alternating. This is how we are getting an alternating output voltage with a off bridge inverter. So, these are the currents I1 when Q1 is on, this is current I2 when Q2 is on. So, this is the fundamental current I01 which is useful power, which is producing useful power. That is what important for us. Other currents will be harmonics, that is not useful for us. So, RMS value of the output voltage V naught is equal to Vs by 2. So, this is how we have to integrate and we will get Vs by 2. So, what is RMS value of output voltage? V naught is equal to Vs by 2. So, let us summarize the operation of single phase off bridge inverter. So, I already told you for duration T is equal to 0, T is greater than 0, less than T naught by 2, the transistor Q1, IGBT or MOSFET transistor, anything will conduct and the load is subjected to voltage Vs by 2 due to upper voltage source Vs by 2. At T is equal to T naught by 2, Q1 is commutated. So, already seen in the waveform, the Q1 is commutated at T is equal to T naught by 2 and Q2 is turned on. During T naught by 2 and this duration, Q2 conducts and load is subjected to voltage minus V by 2 due to lower voltage source Vs by 2. The load voltage are already seen in the waveform, it is alternating voltage waveform of the amplitude Vs by 2 and of frequency 1 by T naught. So, this is the frequency and this is the amplitude of your load voltage. The frequency of inverter output voltage can be changed by controlling T naught. So, in off bridge inverter, I already told you we can vary the frequency also, and also if you want you can vary the magnitude by varying the DC input voltage. So, by inverter, so thus inverter converts a DC power to AC, a DC to AC. So, we are converting a DC power to AC power. So, basic things to be noted here. To be noted is one in an off bridge inverter we have only 2 transistors and the 2 diodes I will tell you in coming slides. It will be used when using inductive load. So, we will be using only 2 switches, transistor acting like a switches. We are getting an AC output. That AC output it is a square type of inverter. The output voltage waveform is a square. When the load is highly inductive. Let us take up this case. Here the diodes already told you D1, D2 are called the feedback diodes. They conduct, when they conduct, energy is fed back to DC source. When the thyristor you already seen turn off at T is equal to T naught by 2. When the thyristor is turned off, the current won't come to 0 because of the load is highly inductive. The current is continuous to flow in the direction. In the meanwhile, it gets the capacitor C2 gets charged and the D2 comes into picture here. See the direction. So, this is the direction continuous to flow when you turn off Q1. When Q1 is turned off, before turning off this was the direction. When it is turned off, it continues to flow because inductor, it won't change the current through it so suddenly, it continues to flow for a while, that is via D2, L and Vs by 2. This is how I already told you, when the diodes are on, that is why they are called feedback diodes. They feed power back to the DC source. So, these are the use of feedback diodes that were useful when the load is inductive. Let us see what happens when you turn off Q2 at T is equal to T naught. Again current does not fall to 0 suddenly, because this was the direction of current before turning off Q2 when Q2 is conducting. When Q2 is turned off, current continues to flow through D1, again voltage source. That is how the power is fed back to the DC voltage source. That is why D1 and D2, this is the utility or the use of diode D1 and D2, they are called as feedback diodes. So, in load current for highly inductive load. So, this is the duration when D1 is on, again Q1 is on. So, the current is continuous. So, D2 is on. So, see that this is where your Q2 is on, this is where is Q1 is on. When Q1 is off, current continues to flow. This way you will get a continuous current. When the load current is highly inductive, so this is when the load is highly inductive, this load current will be continuous. The transistor is switched on for a quarter cycle or 90 degree. See, the main drawback of single phase half bridge inverter is that it requires a 3-wire DC supply. This difficulty can be overcome by use of full bridge inverter. Let us see the full bridge inverter. The full bridge inverter you are seeing on the screen consisting of 4 transistors, 4 BJT or 4 IGBT or whatever it may be, switches you use. So, here the voltage source is Vs. Here we are using a 4 feedback diodes D1, D2, D3, D4. So, these are again the feedback diodes comes into picture only when the load is inductive. Let us see the operation of single phase full bridge inverter. So, similar to that we will operation within the similar lines. Here first we turn on Q1 and Q2. Q1 and Q2 is on, again for the same duration, T is greater than 0 and less than T by 2 or T naught by 2. Here the 2 transistors will be on simultaneously. So, this is a Q1 opposite arm, Q1, Q2. Q1 and Q2 will be on. When Q1 and Q2 will be on, Q3, Q4 should be off. When Q3, Q4 is on, Q1, Q2 will be off. It will be, this operation will follow like that. So, let us see when Q1 is on, Q1, Q2 is on, let us see the direction. So, it already marked as marked. This is how the current flows when Q1, Q2 on. Thus, Q1 is on. So, this is the flow of current. When Q1 is on, it is like a closed switch. So, then see the direction of current through the load, this is considered as a positive. So, the output voltage will be, so this is the direction of flow. The output voltage will be Vs. So, in half bridge inverter, the output voltage Vs by 2. Here it is Vs. The output voltage V naught is equal to Vs. Let us see the case when we turn off Q1 and Q2 and Q3, Q4 is turned on. The duration is T is equal to T naught by 2, T by 2 or to T. See the direct flow of current now. This is the direction of flow when Q3, this is Q3 and Q4 is on. See the direction now. See the direction of current through the load get reversed. This is a previous direction like this, now it is, this is the direction now. Now Q3, Q4 and through the voltage source. The output voltage is again Vs with reverse minus Vs. So, during Q1, Q2 is on, the output voltage is Vs. When Q1, Q2 is on, output voltage was Vs. When Q3, Q4 is on, the output voltage will be minus Vs. Again we are getting positive and minus. So, again that is how we are getting alternating voltage in a single phase full bridge inverter. These are the waveforms. These are we are getting gate supply Ig1 and Ig2. This is Ig3 and Ig4. When Ig1, Ig2 are on, the output voltage Q1, Q2. This is Q1, Q2 on, output voltage V naught. When Q3, Q4 on, this is Q3, Q4 on, we will get minus, this is minus Vs. This is when Q1, Q2 on, we are getting plus Vs. This is output voltage waveform. So, this also again in single phase full bridge inverter also we are getting alternating voltage. This is summary of operation of full bridge inverter. So, when Q1 and Q2 conducts, load voltage is Vs. When Q3, Q4 conducts, the load voltage is minus Vs. The frequency of output voltage can be controlled by varying time T. The RMS value of output voltage is V naught is equal to Vs. In off bridge inverter, it is Vs by 2, because there the source is also Vs by 2. So, here we are giving full source voltage Vs, the output voltage V naught is equal to Vs here. So, here also in full bridge inverter, when the load is inductive, already told you. So, when Q1 and these are the D1 and D2 conducts, when Q1 and Q2 is off, this one Q1 and Q2 is on, again D3, D4 conducts, again Q3, Q4. This is how we are getting continuous waveform when load current is highly inductive. This case was discussed in detail with off bridge inverter. Same is true here. D1 and D2 are acts as a feedback diodes. They comes into picture only when the load is inductive. When the load is inductive, only those feedback diodes comes into picture. The square wave voltage source inverter applications. So, inverters usually used in motor drives, uninterruptible UPS, uninterruptible power supply units. In electrical circuits utilizing electrical resonance between inductor and capacitor. So, where we use such electrical resonance between inductor and capacitor, usually induction heating and electronic ballasts for fluorescent lamp. So, in AC motor drives, why you are using in AC motor drives is, if you want to varying the speed of induction motor, so we need variable voltage and variable frequency. So, that our frequency of AC is will be fixed. So, that is why what we do is, we use an inverter. With DC supply is given, the DC supply is converted to AC. By varying the frequency, by varying the switching frequency, we get a variable output frequency, AC frequency. That is how we can vary the speed of motor drives. In UPS, we already know when there is no power. So, when power is there, whenever a capacitor cell power is there, the battery gets charged. When there is no power shutdown, the battery, the DC power using inverter converts into AC. So, these are the applications of square wave voltage source inverters. So, let us take up the 3-phase inverters. 3-phase inverters are used for high power applications. A basic 3-phase inverter is 6-step bridge inverter. It uses minimum of 6 transistors. It may be a BJT usually IGBTs are used. For one cycle of 360 degree, each step would be of 60 degree for a 6 step inverter. The transistors are gated at regular intervals of 60 degree intervals in proper sequence, so that a 3 phase AC voltage is incised at output terminals of a 6 step inverter. The two types of control signals can be employed here, 180 degree or 120 degree, but we study only 180 degree type of control signals. Let us take up this is a 3 phase circuit of a 3 phase bridge inverter. See, we are using 3 legs or 3 arms, you can say 1, 2, 3. So, 3 phases A, phase B and phase C. In each leg we will be using 2 transistors or 2 IGBTs, Q1, Q4, Q3, Q6, Q5, Q2. So, the upper arm we have on upper side we have Q1, Q3, Q5 odd number. This we have taken for convenience, Q4, Q6, Q2. So, totally we have a 6 switches or 6 transistors or IGBTs, like that, whatever it may be. So, again we are using a D1 6 diodes. Again those diodes will come into picture when the load is highly inductive. The voltage source again is Vs. Here at any time 3 transistors will be on at a time, either 2 on for upper group, 1 from lower group, or 2 from lower group or 1 from upper group. At any time only 3 transistors will be on at a time. And here in 180 degree conduction, each transistor conducts for 180 degree duration. Q1 conducts for 180 degree, then after 180 degree Q4 conducts. This is 180 degree sequence means. They cannot be on at a time, it gets short circuited. So, Q1 is on for first 180 degree, then after that Q4 conducts. So, in 3 phase 180 degree mode, already told you each transistor conducts for 180 degree of cycle. The transistor pair in each arm Q1, Q4 already shown you, Q3, Q6 and Q5, Q2 are turned on with a time interval of 180 degree. The transistor in upper group already odd number 135, Q1, Q3, Q1 says what, Q1, Q3, Q5 upper group. I am showing it again, upper group is 135, remember upper group is 135, lower group is 462. So, the transistor in upper group Q1, Q3, 5 and upper Q1, Q3 conduct at interval of 120 degree. The transistor in lower group Q2, Q4, Q6 conduct at interval of 120 degree. If Q1 conducts at omega is equal to 0, then Q3 conducts omega is equal to 120, then Q3 conducts omega is equal to 240. This is how what is interval of 120 degree means. In every step of 60 degree duration, I already told you there are 6 steps, each step is of 60 degree duration, therefore 60 into 6 is 360 degrees. So, in every step of 60 degree duration, only 3 written is here, it may be transistors IGBT whatever are conducting, 1 from upper group and 2 from lower group, or 2 from upper group and 1 from lower group. So, it is maybe transistors here or IGBTs. So, in every step of 60 degree duration, only 3 transistors will be conducting, 1 from upper group and 2 from lower group, or 2 from upper group and 1 from lower group, whatever it may be. The sequence of firing, so that is all called convenience, it is already told you, the numbering is done like this, 1, 2, 3, so again 2, 3 continued, 4, again this the 3, 4 again, 3, 4, 5, another additional number, again this 4, 5, 6, you can remember, easy to remember, 5, 6, 1, again these 2 will be common, 6, 1, another number is 2. Starting 1, 2, 3, the 2, 3 will be common for next, 2, 3, so again continuous number is 4, again 3, 4, 5, again for next step this 3, 4, 5 will be continue to be on, again 6, again there is 5, 5, 6, another next number is 1, again 6, 1 is common here, 2. So, this is how the sequence, this sequence should be maintained properly. So, in 180 degree mode of conductions here, in each pair Q1 and Q4 they conducts in interval of 180 degree. So, in a group, in upper group 135 odd number, so they conduct an interval of 120 degree. So, transistor in lower group also they conduct interval of 120 degree. So, in every step of 60 degree only 3 transistors are conducting. Among 3, either one from upper group and 2 from lower group, or 2 from upper group or 1 from lower, whatever it may be. The sequence is already told you 1 2 3, 2 3 4, 3 4 5, 4 5 6. See the sequence 4 5 6, 5 6 1 and 6 1 2. So, here see the mode 1 operation. See mode 1 operation, it can be divided into 6 modes, already 6 steps. In mode 1 operation already told you, we start with the Q5, Q6, Q1. So, just I told you 3 transistors will be conducting at any time. Here 1 from 2 from upper group, this is from upper group, 1 from lower group. So, Q1 is conducting Q1, Q5 from upper group, odd numbers, remember that way, odd numbers upper group, even numbers lower group. Odd numbers is 1 3 5, here it is 2 4 6. So, when Q5 Q6 conducts, what happens? So, Q1 is conducting, so you can replace by short. Whenever a switch, this is like a switch, when switch is conducting, you can replace by short. So, Q6 it is conducting, Q5 is conducting. So, voltage source is Vs. Let us see the equivalent circuit for mode 1 operation. Here we have taken the, it is a 3-phase inverter, we assume the load as Y connected. The neutral point is, this is a neutral. So, this mode 1 operation for 0 to pi by 3 means 60 degree, 180 divided by 3, 60 degree. So, it between 0 to 60 degree, this mode operation is valid between 0 to 60 degree. Let us see when mode 1 operation, you can see the AC, the upper arm already shown, you can go back if you want again. So, the Q1, the point here, this you have to remember, point here, Q1 point A B, because Q1 Q5 are conducting, upper arm A B, A phase B phase, sorry, positive A and C, negative, these are connected to positive voltage. This is what you have to understand here. The Q1 and Q5 upper arms are connected to plus Vs. So, the Q6 is connected to the minus Vs. This is what is shown in this circuit, that is AC, that is what I told you, A and C. A and C, positive means upper arm means which are the things 1 and 5, B negative lower arm, that is transistor Q6. So, this is what equivalent circuit. So, AC is connected to positive supply, B is connected negative. So, the resistance R and R, this is if assumed as a resistive load. So, now equivalent circuit, R equivalent is equal to R plus R by 2. The equivalent of R plus R, these are in parallel, the equivalent resistance will be R by 2. What is total resistance? 3R by 2. Now, what is I1? The total I1 will be Vs divided by R equivalent. So, the I1 will be 2 Vs by 3R. Take this reciprocal, 2 by 3 by Vsr. Now, the voltage VAN is equal to VCN, these are in parallel. Now, this is important, the voltage VAN is equal to VCN. So, what is VAN is equal to VCN? These voltages are equal, that is I1 for the current. So, what is the equivalent resistance will be? This is R by 2. The voltage across anything will be equivalent will be R by 2 here. So, I 1 into R by 2. So, what is this I 1 R by 2? If you simplify, you will get V s by 3. The voltage V a n is equal to V c n, that is equal to V s by 3. That is how you can remember, easy to remember also, V s by 3. How we got V s by 3? The voltage across V a n, V c n are both are equal because they are in parallel. What is equivalent resistance here is R by 2. R by 2 multiplied by I 1. This is what I have done here. V n is V c n is equal to I 1 into the voltage current into resistance. What is equivalent resistance here? It is R by 2, I 1 into R by 2. How we got R by 2? R and R resistance are to connected in parallel, the equivalent resistance will be R by 2. That is what I have shown here. So, V n is equal to V c n, that is equal to V s by 3. So, now what is V b n? V b n is nothing but this minus, this is in the reverse direction, the current flowing in the reverse direction. This is minus, this is connected to minus. So, what is current now? Minus I 1 into R, this is R, minus what is I 1? We have done here 2 by 3 V s by R. So, R get cancelled out. The V b n, voltage across V b n is minus 2 by 3 V s. I think you have followed how we got V a n. V a n is equal to V c n because both they are in parallel, resistance R, these are connected in parallel. So, this is V a n is same as V c n. So, that is V s by 3. What is V b n? This is this resistance is connected to negative of the power supply V s. So, the voltage will be negative minus 2 by 3 into V s. This is for mode 1 operation. This is for mode 1 operation. The duration will be 0 to 60 degree. During this, which are conducting 561, 2 from upper group, 1 from lower group. You can see the waveform. So, we are only interested in this duration. This is 60 degree. This is again 60 degree, 60. So, this is V a n. However, these are marked in a reading, they are equal. V a n is equal to, see, V a n is equal to V c n. So, V a n is equal to V c n, that are marked in a red color. V a n is equal to V c n. What is the magnitude? How marked here? V s by 3. Again V n up to this duration you have to take. This is 60 degree. This is, see, this is positive. Up to what is the magnitude? Magnitude of that one is V s by 3. It is the magnitude of V c n and V a n. What is V b n? V b n is negative. This duration you have to take. What is this value? Minus V s by 3. So, this is how we got the phase voltages up to 60 degree. So, again remember this duration is 0 to 60 degree, 0 degree to 60 degree. So, which are the conducting here? Q6, Q5, 561. These are the transistor conducting during mode 1, 561. So, in 561 V n is equal to V c n, V b n is equal to minus 2 V s by 3, 2 V s by 3 and V n is equal to V s by 3. Let us take up the mode 2 operation. Mode 2 operation is again the sequence you follow 6, 1, 2. First one is 561, now 6, 1, 2. 6, 1, 2, observe now Q6 even number, Q2 even lower group, 2 from lower group now, 2 from lower group, 1 from upper group. So, since Q1 is connecting, it replaced by short, this switch is closed. Now, Q6, Q2, 2 from lower group, 1 from upper group. So, now which is connected to positive Vs? Only one, the A. See the point A now, the phase A is connected to the positive of the supply. Now, 2 are connected, B and C. See B, this is B and C, phase B and C are connected to the negative of the power supply. We will see the equivalent circuit. Mode 2 operation. So, it is from 60 degree to 120 degree instead of 60 degree. So, the duration now 60 degree to 120 degree. See now BC, they are connected to negative. Negative power supply means B and C, you can say they are in, when they are negative you can easily say they are in lower group. Lower group even number. Lower group means even number, which one? Q6, Q2. Q6, Q2. If you want, you can see the circuit again. So, where is Q6? This is a Q6. Q6, Q2. Q2 is C, phase C, Q6 is B. Q1 is A. Mode 2 operation. See B and C, again they are parallel, R and R1 negative, but with negative. Positive is connected to A phase, that is R. So, Q6, Q1, Q2 are conducting. So, again in similar fashion, we proceed on similar fashion, we calculate R equivalent. These two are in parallel plus R with R series, we are getting 3R by 2. Again the current I2. Now, the current is I2. What is I2 again? Vs by R equivalent. What is R equivalent? 3R by 2. What is the current I2 you are getting? 2 by 3 is Vs. The magnitude is same in previous case also. But what is VIN here? I is only the one is connected to positive. It is I2 multiplied by R. What is I2? 2 by 3 Vs by R. So, this is the magnitude you are getting for VIN. Here VIN is equal to 2 Vs by 3. What is here? VBN and VBN and VCN. This is the BN with respect to neutral. VCN are same. See here VBN and VCN are negative because they are connected to negative of the power supply, negative of the DC source. What is magnitude of VBN, VCN? Here is minus Vs by 3. The magnitude here it is minus Vs by 3. You can see the waveform. So, what we are interested in the duration now is up to, the duration is 60 to 120 degree. This is ending here. So, see the VIN. VIN is positive, the one which is connected to the positive the supply. So, that phase is connected to that. So, Vs 2 Vs by 3. Now, here VBN is equal to VCN, that what I marked in a red color. VBN and VCN they are equal. What is that magnitude? Magnitude here will be minus Vs by 3. See the magnitude minus Vs by 3. This is what I marked. So, I am getting waveform up to 120. This is 0 to 60, 60 to 120 degree. See VCN in first case mode 1 it was positive. So, what is now voltage? Now, VIN is 2 Vs by 3. VBN, VCN are equal, that is equal to minus Vs by 3. This is for duration 60 to 120 degree. Let us see another mode, mode 3 operation. Mode 3 operation, again see the sequence Q1, Q2, Q3. Now, again three transistors are conducting. See the numbers Q1 sequence Q1, Q2, Q3. Odd numbers 1, 3 means upper arm, Q2 even number lower arm. So, Q2 is even number, lower arm. So, lower arm is connected to negative supply, negative terminal of the supply. See this one, the phase C here is connected. Now, here A, B are connected to the positive of the power supply. Let us see the equivalent circuit. So, it is 120 degrees to 180 degree, mode 3 operation. See A, B are connected to the positive supply, C is connected to negative. So, similar lines again R equivalent is given by R plus R by 2. This R by 2 comes R and R in parallel. So, 3R by 2. Same I3, the current I3, this is the current I3, this is the current I3. I3 is given by Vs by R equivalent. So, that is again 2 by 3 Vs by R. The same magnitude is same. So, what is important here? VAN and VBN are equal. So, that is nothing but I3 by 2. I3 by 2 is again this is equal to Vs by 3. I3, this is I3. If you divide by 2, get cancelled out, Vs by 3 is equal to I3 into, actually it should be R here. So, you are getting Vs. So, what is Vcn? Vcn is equal to again I3 into R, this again negative, minus 2 by 3 into Vs. The magnitudes are, so again Vs by 3, Van, Vbn is equal to Vs by 3, Vcn is equal to minus 2 by 3 Vs, which are a transistor conducting mode 3 operation Q1, Q2, Q3. So, see now Van, Vbn are conducting, Vn, Vbn are equal. So, what is the magnitudes there? So, this is the 180 degree, this is the position we have reached. What is the magnitude Vn? Here again 180 degree, they are equal, S by 3. You can see the 180 degree here, minus 2 S by 3. So, in other 3 modes, if you take, this is the waveform you will getting. So, this up to pi positive, pi to 2 pi negative. So, this will be repeated. So, this is how we are getting phase voltages for 180 degree conduction. This Van, Vbn with 3 phases. Again here they are alternating. This may be approximated by the sinusoidal. This is for duration 122 pi. This is how we are getting AC voltage, 3 phase, Van, Vbn, these are phase voltages. These waveforms for 180 degree conductions. So, this is our gated gating of transistor Q, G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6. So, this is how the gated for with a 60 degree interval. So, this is 60, again 60 is plus 120, this previously it was up to 60 degree. This is how the gating variations, gating signals for R, G1, G3, G5. This what pattern is 120 degree interval upper arm, 120 degree interval in the lower arm. Upper arm is 135, lower arm is 246. So, this is how the line voltages we are getting. Line voltages are obtained from the phase voltages. VAB, this is VBC, this is VAC, this VAB. This waveform is for V line voltage VAB. This is for VB, this is for VBC, this is for VCA. From the line phase voltages, we can draw the line voltages. This is how we are getting converting. This is how we are getting waveforms for 180 degree conduction in a 3 phase full bridge inverter. In a 3 phase full bridge inverter, in each arm there will be 2 transistors. They will conduct an interval of 180 degree. So, in each in upper group 3 thyristors will be there. They conduct an interval of 120 degree. In for every 60 degree, at least 3 thyristors will be conducting. So, in a step of 60 degree they will be conducting. So, in any step or in any mode I told you, 3 transistors will be conducting, either 2 from upper group or 1 from lower group, or 2 from lower group, 1 from upper group already seen. This is how this circuit works. So, let us see some of the application, typical application of inverters, typical application requirements. So, the most popular application of inverters in converting solar energy into electrical energy. So, what is the solar power? In solar cell we are getting only DC. So, our in daily usage we are using AC for all the applications. So, we need to convert the DC to AC. So, this is where the most popular application of inverter comes. In all homes also we will be using solar UPS, where using the DC is coming from charging the DC from the solar panel. So, it may be 12 volts or 24 volts. Again from this, the energy stored in DC in batteries will be converted to AC by using the inverter. Again, if you want inverter, it may be connected to the grid also. Now, the popular application is directly the inverters can be connected to the grid without storing in any batteries. That is how it is popularly now, this technology has come now. We are using this way. Here the single phase 230 volts AC. It can be directly, inverters can be connected directly connected to the grid. So, that is why during daytime So the power is fed to the grid. Night time we can use that one also for our domestic applications. So this is another application. This is another type of inverter. It is a military grade where we are getting a pure sine wave inverter. Pure sine inverter is the input is 24 volts DC, the output will be 220 volts AC. The typical applications. So this is another, I already told you, this is a grid tie solar inverters, which directly inverter can be directly output is connected, direct AC is connected to the grid. So during daytime the supply, we are transporting the supply, we are sending the supply to the grid. So whenever we want during night times, you can use it back. This is the most powerful applications of inverters, popular applications. They convert DC current generated by the solar module into grid acceptable alternating current. These are finding applications in the distributed generation also. So where in remote villages or hilly areas where your source of power supply is not there, there we can use this sort of inverters. So this is another popular application of inverters is in AC motor drive or variable frequency drives, where you want to vary the speed of induction motor. So use the DC supply, DC is converted into AC. So we are getting a variable frequency. This is called variable frequency drives. This is the popular application of inverters. So where we are using IGBT, this is IGBT drives, drive optocouplers we are using. This is a popular application of inverters. So another popular application of inverters is solar pumping system. So we have a solar arrays, solar pump inverter, solar pumps. So you can pump the water to the, this is again now is already being used in villages where we are using the solar power for pumping the water. This again government is also providing subsidies also for using solar energy. Solar array convert DC to AC, we are using solar pumps here. You can pump the water to tank. This is another popular application of inverters. So today we have discussed about half bridge inverter, full bridge inverter and 3-phase inverters. Inverters are popular in every sphere of the life. Every day we are seeing use of inverters. So computers, UPS we are using, there also we have the inverter. So the most popular application of industrial application of inverters are using what I already told you. It may be in the AC motor drives, AC drives. The most popular application of inverter is AC motor drives, where we want to drive the induction motors with variable frequency. Invariably use inverter. We use a DC supply, DC to AC, we use inverter. So where we will get a variable frequency, variable voltage, output voltage, we can vary the speed of induction motor. The popularly induction motor is used in all the industries. So this is the efficient method of varying the speed of a induction motor. So also we use in HVDC also, in high voltage DC transmission. So we use converters to get the DC there, power is converted DC, again DC is transmitted, at the end again DC is converted into AC using the inverters. Again another popular application of inverters is in induction heating. Induction heating also same principle, DC is converted into AC. By induction principle heating is done. So these are the popular application of inverters. For high power applications we go for 3-phase inverters. In 3-phase inverters already told you the output will be a sine wave waveform used for high power applications. For low power application the square wave output is sufficient. But anyway inverters are become popular, especially in the solar power. The inverters becoming very popular. Now the cost per unit of solar energy is also coming down with increasing with advent of technologies. The solar cells are efficient, energy is converted efficiently from solar energy to electrical energy. With that the DC power is converted to AC power using inverters. Now in domestic purpose also we can use the solar powered lights, solar power applications. Use a solar power array. The solar cells convert will get a DC. From DC we charge the batteries, again from the batteries they are connected to inverters, we are getting AC supply. So, during summer also, during summer we get abundant power supply. During winter also, only during rainy seasons we may not get this sunshine. Most of the year, at least 9 to 10 months, we are getting the solar power, that is the cheapest power supply. So, the inverters are invariably used in all these applications. In every day to day life also, inverters are very important to us. Computers, we need inverters. So, everywhere the inverters are being used. So, inverters have become a part of our life. Wherever DC is available easily, available, the most DC power supply we get is from solar only. From that we will get a DC supply, charge the battery, use an inverter, convert to AC. So, as far as possible in our houses also, go for solar. You buy a solar panel, again 3 watts is also available, charge a battery, you can use one CFL 5 watts lamp also. Very simple circuit. Directly you can connect to battery also with a DC choke, you can connect a 5 watts. This is going to be a simple project. A solar panel cost about 450 rupees, 4 watts, 12 volts, charge a battery of 7.5 ampere hours. So, that can be connected with a DC choke, connected to 5 watts CFL lamp. So, that is why in your houses also you can use this solar power. Now, also you can construct a simple inverter. Simple inverter also can be constructed in the as a part of your project work in the power electronics mini project. So, that is how the inverters can be implemented at your level in the laboratories also. So, this all we have covered today. Thank you. Have a nice time.